Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at something that I think a lot of us have wondered about, like at some point.
Yeah.
The connection between age and running a successful business and, actually being happy doing it.
Yeah.
So we are diving into the Age Business Happiness Connection Report, which is a global survey of 6,000 entrepreneurs
Wow.
from the startup tribe.
Okay.
And let me tell you, some of these findings really challenged my assumptions about the whole, ideal age for starting a business.
Yeah, it's fascinating, right? Because we often hear about those young entrepreneurs, those overnight success stories, and it creates this perception that youth is like the key ingredient.
Right.
But this report kind of delves into those nuances of age and experience
Yeah.
and reveals strengths and challenges that you might not expect.
Yeah, like this whole myth of the young entrepreneur being the most successful. Is there any data to actually back that up?
Right.
What surprised me was that the report actually points to mid-career entrepreneurs, folks in their mid-30s to mid-40s, as having a significant advantage when it comes to business performance.
And it makes you wonder, right? What is it about that age range
Yeah.
that leads to greater success? The report dives into this, and
Yeah.
it's not just about having more experience in general. It's
Right.
about having navigated specific challenges
Yeah.
that younger entrepreneurs might not have encountered yet. Think about things like, economic downturns, major industry shifts,
Oh, yeah.
or even having led teams through periods of rapid growth or restructuring.
Right.
These are experiences that build a different kind of resilience and strategic thinking.
So it's almost like those mid-career entrepreneurs have this, been there, done that
Yeah.
wisdom that helps them make smarter decisions.
Right. And the report connects this to a more balanced approach to risk.
Okay.
Not necessarily risk averse, but they've learned to assess opportunities with a keener eye.
Right.
They've seen firsthand how quickly things can change,
Right.
and they've developed the ability to adapt while also minimizing potential downsides.
But wouldn't you say that younger entrepreneurs are better at adapting? I mean, they're digital natives, they're used to rapid change.
Yeah.
What does the report say about their strengths?
It actually highlights their adaptability as a major strength.
Okay.
They're often more comfortable with ambiguity,
Okay.
more willing to experiment with new technologies and business models,
Right.
and that fearlessness can be a huge asset in the early stages of a business when you're still figuring things out.
Right.
The report even uses the term digital fluency to describe
Oh, wow.
their inherent understanding of the online world.
Okay, so maybe it's not that one age group is better than the other. It's more about understanding the unique strengths that each brings to the table.
Right.
And the report doesn't just focus on business performance, right?
Mm.
It also dives into this whole idea of the happiness roller coaster
Yes.
that entrepreneurs often experience.
This is where the human element really shines through.
Yeah.
We get a glimpse into the emotional journey of building a business, and it's not always a smooth ride.
Oh, for sure.
The report breaks it down into distinct phases,
Okay.
starting with that initial honeymoon phase.
I can imagine, all the excitement of a new idea,
Exactly.
the freedom to be your own boss.
Yeah,
It makes sense that happiness levels would be high during that phase.
exactly. But then, as the business starts to grow,
Right.
the report reveals a dip in reported happiness.
Hmm.
And this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
The report specifically links this dip to the increasing complexity of managing a growing business and the challenges of maintaining work-life balance.
The honeymoon phase is over, and suddenly it's not all sunshine and roses anymore.
Right. Decisions have higher stakes.
Yeah.
There's more pressure to delegate effectively.
Right.
And the lines between work and personal life can become blurred.
Yeah.
And this is where those mid-career entrepreneurs, with their experience in navigating complex situations, might have a bit of an edge.
So is it their experience that helps them maintain some sense of balance during that tricky growth phase?
Yeah.
Does the report give any specific examples of how they do it?
One of the things the report highlighted was the importance of setting clear boundaries.
Okay.
Many of the successful mid-career entrepreneurs in the study had implemented strategies like designating specific work hours, even if they're working from home,
Oh, interesting.
or incorporating family time into their business travel schedules.
Mm.
It's not just about working harder. It's about working smarter and building systems that support their well-being.
So maybe it's not just that mid-career entrepreneurs are magically better at handling stress. It's that they've had more time to develop coping mechanisms and figure out what works for them.
That's a great way to put it. And the report suggests that these strategies play a key role in their ability to navigate the ups and downs of entrepreneurship without sacrificing their overall happiness.
Okay, so we've talked about the myth of the young entrepreneur and the unique strengths of different age groups. But how does this all connect back to the listener,
Right.
to someone who might be thinking about starting a business? What's the takeaway here?
I think the most important takeaway is this. Don't get hung up on the idea of a perfect age to start a business.
Okay.
The report suggests it's more about understanding the advantages and challenges that come with your current life stage and using that knowledge to your advantage.
Right.
Whether you're in your 20s, your 40s, or even later in life, there are ways to leverage your experience, your skills, and your network to increase your chances of success.
So it's about playing the hand you're dealt,
Okay.
but playing it strategically.
Exactly.
Oh.
And recognizing that every stage of life comes with its own unique set of resources.
Right.
We can actually dive deeper into this in the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
where we'll explore some age-specific insights and actionable advice for aspiring entrepreneurs.
All right. That sounds like a perfect place to pause for now.
Yeah.
We'll be back in a moment to unpack those age-specific insights and see how this report can be applied to your entrepreneurial journey, no matter where you are on that path. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking about how this Age Business Happiness Connection report really flips the script on the whole ideal age to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Instead of a one-size-fits-all answer, it's more about understanding the strengths and challenges that come with different life stages.
Right.
So let's dig into that.
Okay.
What are some of the specific insights for different age groups?
Well, let's start with the younger entrepreneurs.
Okay.
The report highlighted a fascinating statistic. While young entrepreneurs often experience a steeper learning curve, they also demonstrate remarkable resilience
Interesting.
in the face of setbacks. In fact, 70% of entrepreneurs under 30 reported feeling confident in their ability to bounce back from failure,
Wow.
compared to 60% of those over 50.
That's interesting. I would have thought the more experienced entrepreneurs would have a higher confidence level when it comes to dealing with setbacks.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
The report suggests it might be connected to their outlook on failure. Younger entrepreneurs tend to view setbacks as learning opportunities, as integral parts of the journey.
Right.
They're less likely to be discouraged by mistakes and more likely to pivot quickly and try new approaches.
So it's almost like they're less afraid to fail because they haven't been conditioned to see it as a negative thing.
Exactly. And that can be a powerful advantage
Yeah.
in the fast-paced startup world where agility and adaptability are key. But the report also cautions that this optimism needs to be tempered with a dose of reality.
Okay.
Building a strong support network, mentors, advisors, even peers who are going through similar challenges can help provide that grounding and perspective.
So for those younger entrepreneurs listening,
Right.
it's not just about diving in head first.
Right.
It's about surrounding yourself with people who can help you navigate the inevitable bumps in the road.
Absolutely. And for mid-career entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
the report emphasizes a different set of strengths.
Mm.
Strategic decision-making, and an ability to balance multiple priorities. Remember, these are the folks who are often juggling family responsibilities, established careers,
Right.
and maybe even financial obligations, all while launching a new venture.
But wouldn't you say that kind of juggling act can lead to burnout? Like, how do they manage to stay afloat amidst all that complexity?
Well, the report actually found that mid-career entrepreneurs reported higher levels of life satisfaction than any other age group.
Wow, really?
And a key factor in that was their ability to integrate work and life,
Okay,
not just balance them.
got it.
They're not just compartmentalizing. They're finding ways to weave their personal and professional lives together in a way that feels harmonious.
Can you give us a concrete example of what that looks like in practice?
One example from the report was a mid-career entrepreneur who started an online business that allowed her to work remotely while homeschooling her children.
Oh, wow.
She built her business around her family's schedule,
Right.
integrating her work into her life rather than trying to keep them separate. And this approach, the report found, can lead to greater levels of both business success and personal fulfillment.
So it's not about striving for that elusive work-life balance.
Right.
It's about creating a lifestyle that works for you and allows you to pursue your passions without sacrificing your well-being.
Exactly. And the report emphasizes that this integration becomes even more important for experienced entrepreneurs, those who
Wow.
have maybe already built and sold businesses
Right.
and are now looking for something more than just financial success.
So what are some of the unique insights for that group?
Hmm.
The report paints a pretty positive picture of experienced entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They have the highest levels of life satisfaction.
Right.
They're more strategic in their approach.
Yes.
And they're less driven by external validation.
Right.
But are there any challenges unique to this group?
One challenge the report identified is staying relevant in a rapidly changing business landscape.
Right.
Think about it. The skills and knowledge that led to success 20 years ago might not be as effective in today's digital world.
Yeah, that's true.
So for experienced entrepreneurs, continuous learning and a willingness to adapt are crucial.
So they can't just rest on their laurels
Right.
and assume their past successes will guarantee future ones?
Exactly. The report actually highlights the importance of mentorship for this group, but not just as mentors to others.
Interesting.
Experienced entrepreneurs who actively seek out mentors themselves, who are willing to learn from younger generations,
Okay.
tend to stay more engaged and innovative. It's a reminder that learning is a lifelong process,
Right.
no matter how much experience you have.
So in a way, they're leveraging the strengths of other age groups, that digital fluency and adaptability of younger entrepreneurs,
Yeah,
to stay ahead of the curve.
exactly.
It really reinforces the idea that there's something to be learned from every stage of the entrepreneurial journey.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
It's not a linear progression where one stage is inherently better than another.
Yeah.
It's a cycle of learning, adaptation, and growth.
Mhm.
And this report really underscores the importance of embracing the unique opportunities and challenges that come with each stage of that cycle.
Okay, I'm curious. The report talks a lot about the emotional side of entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
this happiness roller coaster. Does it offer any strategies for managing those ups and downs? Is there anything entrepreneurs, regardless of age, can do to build that emotional toolkit you mentioned earlier?
Absolutely. The report dives into this and highlights several key strategies.
Okay.
And one of the most powerful is something we've touched on already,
Okay.
building a strong support network. But it's not just about having people to celebrate your wins with.
Right.
It's about having people you can be vulnerable with,
Yeah.
people who can offer honest feedback, and people who can help you process those inevitable moments of doubt and frustration.
So it's about having that safe space where you can let your guard down and be yourself,
Exactly.
even when things are tough.
And the report found that entrepreneurs who had a strong support system were more likely to report feeling happy and fulfilled. Regardless of their business's financial performance, it's a reminder that success isn't just about the bottom line.
Right.
It's about cultivating those personal connections that provide meaning and purpose beyond the metrics of business.
And that makes sense. Entrepreneurship can be isolating,
Yeah.
especially in the early stages when you're wearing all the hats.
Right.
Having that network of people who understand what you're going through can make all the difference.
And it's not just about emotional support. The report also found that having a diverse network,
Okay.
people with different backgrounds and perspectives, can lead to more innovative ideas and better decision-making.
Interesting.
It's about surrounding yourself with people who can challenge your assumptions, who can see things you might miss,
Yeah.
and who can help you grow as both an entrepreneur and a person.
Yeah. So for those listening who might be feeling a bit isolated on their entrepreneurial journey, what's one practical step they can take to start building that support network?
I'd say start by identifying the gaps in your current network.
Okay.
Are there areas of expertise you're lacking? Are there people who can provide emotional support and encouragement?
Right.
Once you've identified those gaps, you can start proactively seeking out connections.
And where can they go to find those connections?
There are so many great resources available.
Yeah.
Online communities, industry events, even local co-working spaces are great places to meet like-minded individuals.
Right.
And don't underestimate the power of your existing network. Reach out to friends, family members, former colleagues, and see if they know anyone who might be a good fit.
Yeah.
You might be surprised at the connections you already have.
So it's about being intentional about building that network.
Yeah.
About putting yourself out there and making those connections.
Exactly. And remembering that it's a two-way street,
Yeah.
be willing to offer support and value to others, and those relationships will naturally blossom.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From debunking the myth of the young entrepreneur to exploring the unique strengths and challenges of different age groups.
Right.
But before we move on, I want to touch on something you said earlier about the importance of understanding your own strengths and challenges.
Okay.
How can entrepreneurs, regardless of age, do that effectively?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It starts with self-awareness.
Okay.
Taking the time to reflect on your past experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Your successes and failures can reveal patterns in your behavior and decision-making. Ask yourself,
Yeah.
what are the skills and traits that have helped you succeed in the past? What are the areas where you tend to struggle or need support?
Right.
And what are the values that drive you, both in your work and in your life?
It's almost like doing a personal SWOT analysis,
Exactly.
but with a focus on your entrepreneurial journey.
And once you have a clear understanding of your own strengths and challenges, you can start to build a strategy that plays to your advantages and addresses your weaknesses.
Right.
That might involve seeking out mentors who have expertise in the areas where you need guidance, building a team that can fill in your skill gaps.
Yeah.
Or simply finding accountability partners who can keep you motivated and on track.
And don't forget the importance of self-care.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship can be incredibly demanding. So it's crucial to prioritize your physical and mental health.
Absolutely. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, eating healthy, exercising, and taking breaks when you need them.
Yeah.
It's not about burning yourself out. It's about building a sustainable lifestyle that supports your entrepreneurial ambitions.
And remember, the entrepreneurial journey is a marathon, not a sprint.
Very true.
It's about finding your own pace, setting realistic goals, and celebrating your progress along the way.
And this report really emphasizes the importance of celebrating those small wins.
Oh, absolutely.
It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind.
Yeah.
And lose sight of the bigger picture. Taking the time to acknowledge your accomplishments, no matter how small, can boost your morale and keep you motivated.
And speaking of motivation, the report also touches on the importance of finding your why.
Yes.
It's not enough to just want to start a business.
Right.
You need to have a deeper purpose that drives you.
Yeah.
Something that keeps you going when the going gets tough.
Absolutely. And that why can evolve over time.
Right.
For some entrepreneurs, it might be about creating a product or service that solves a problem they're passionate about.
Right.
For others, it might be about building a legacy for their family or making a positive impact on the world. The key is to identify what truly motivates you and let that be your guiding star.
So it's about finding that intersection between your passions, your skills,
Yes.
and the needs of the world around you.
Exactly. And that's where the magic happens. When you're aligned with your purpose, the challenges become less daunting. The setbacks become learning opportunities. And the journey itself becomes more rewarding. And this report, I think, does a fantastic job of highlighting the human side of entrepreneurship.
Right.
The emotional journey that often gets overlooked in the pursuit of success.
And it reminds us that age is just one piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Whether you're 25 or 65, there's no expiration date on pursuing your dreams.
Absolutely. And with the right mindset, the right support system, and a clear understanding of your own strengths and challenges, you can create a business and a life that feels truly fulfilling no matter what stage of life you're in.
All right, that's a fantastic note to wrap up this part of our deep dive. After a quick break, we'll be back to explore one final thought-provoking question from the report. A question that might just change the way you think about your own entrepreneurial journey. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. We've been unpacking this fascinating report on the age-business happiness connection, and I have to say it's really shifted my perspective on what it means to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah, what's really struck me is how this report challenges us to think beyond just the traditional markers of success.
Yeah.
It's not just about hitting certain revenue targets
Right.
or scaling to a particular size. It's about creating a business and a life that feels congruent with your values and your definition of happiness.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And speaking of happiness, before the break, we hinted at a final thought-provoking question from the report.
Yes.
Something that really got me thinking about how all of this applies not just to entrepreneurs, but to anyone pursuing a goal, really.
The report wraps up with this question. Knowing what we've uncovered about the age-business happiness connection, how can you leverage the unique strengths of your current life stage to pursue your goals, whether they're entrepreneurial or not, with both passion and balance?
It's such a powerful question because it forces us to move beyond those generic follow your dreams platitudes and get really specific about what we can actually do right now
Right.
with the resources and experiences we have at this moment in time.
I think that's what makes this report so valuable. It doesn't just present data, it gives us a framework for applying that data to our own lives. And that question about leveraging the strengths of your current life stage, That's a game changer.
For sure.
It invites us to see each stage not as a limitation,
Right.
but as an opportunity.
For example, if you're a younger person, maybe you don't have decades of experience,
Right.
but you do have that incredible adaptability and fearlessness that we talked about.
Yeah.
How can you use that to your advantage? Or if you're in mid-career,
Right.
maybe you're juggling a lot,
Yeah.
but you've also developed those strategic thinking skills and that ability to manage complex situations. How can those strengths be applied to your current goals?
Exactly.
It's a whole new way of looking at things.
And for those who are more experienced, it might be about leveraging your wisdom,
Yeah.
your network, and your ability to see the bigger picture. How can you share those assets to mentor others,
Right.
to invest in ideas that resonate with you, or to create something that leaves a lasting legacy? The possibilities are truly endless when you start to look at it this way.
I love how this report reframes age not as a barrier,
Yeah.
but as a source of strength.
Yeah.
It's like instead of thinking I'm too young or I'm too old, you start asking, what unique advantages does my current stage offer?
It's a mindset shift, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's ultimately what this report is all about. Empowering us to take ownership of our own journeys,
Right.
to define success on our own terms, and to find that sweet spot where passion and balance intersect.
Well, deep divers, we've reached the bottom of this particular dive. But as always, we hope this is just the beginning of your exploration. We've covered a lot of ground today, but there's so much more to discover in the full report from the Startup Tribe.
Absolutely. If you're feeling inspired to dive deeper, I highly recommend checking out their website.
Yes.
They have a wealth of resources, including case studies, articles, and even a community forum where you can connect with other entrepreneurs and share your own insights.
And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this episode. What resonated with you? How are you planning to leverage the strengths of your current life stage to achieve your goals? Connect with us on social media, join the discussion, and let's keep this conversation going.
Because at the end of the day, it's not just about the data.
Right.
It's about how we use that data to create more fulfilling and meaningful lives, both personally and professionally.
So until next time, keep diving deep, keep challenging those assumptions, and keep pursuing those goals with passion and purpose. We'll see you on the next deep dive.